Hello there. Today we have a quick tip on how to clean your Switch cartridge. Stay tuned. Alright, so I had many people requesting how to clean your Switch cartridges. You may remember about a couple years ago I did a cartridge cleaning video on how to clean a DS cartridge, and it also applies to a 3DS cartridge. But some people are asking if the same techniques could work on a Switch cartridge, and yes, pretty much. A little different, of course. One nice thing about the back of the Switch cartridge is that there's less contacts and they're closer together, and there's also these little blockers aren't as thin. So many times you could just use a Q-tip. Now, with any cleaning, do this at your own risk, of course. But one thing you're going to need is 91% alcohol. And this is basically the higher the percentage, the more alcohol it has, and the faster it evaporates. And you just want to barely get the tip of your Q-tip wet. Very, 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 very subtle, dampness. And what you're going to do first, your first step is going to be just go over these contacts very slowly and just clean them. Now, you may want to try to do this before even without alcohol, because a lot of times you might just have a little bit of like dust or something. So this is good to do even without alcohol, and just kind of go over your contacts like so. And if they're still dirty, then get the alcohol on your swab and go ahead and do the same thing. You can go back and forth. Do it gently. Don't do it too rough. But if you need force to clean something stuck on there, go ahead and use it. And most of the time, that will work. Afterwards, I would say use the dry side of the Q-tip and just dry it off. And then let the game sit for a while. I would say at least a few hours. Just let it dry out completely before inserting it into your Switch. You can use 50% alcohol, but it's going to have more water in it. So you probably don't want to cheap out, especially on that Switch cartridge. You probably want to you want it to evaporate. You don't want the water to get in there and get stuck. So that's why you use very little on your Q-tip, and you just do it very gently, and then you dry it off with the other side. And that would work probably 95% of the time. That will clean your cartridge, and it should read. If you run into a problem where for some reason the Q-tip swab, maybe you have like thick Q-tips, or it's just like really in there and you can't get in there, like right here, maybe these smaller areas you can't get in there, you can use my DS trick, which is simply getting a cardstock sheet like so, and go in there and just kind of scratch at it. And a cardstock sheet will help kind of get the corners. Sometimes if the cartridge gets really dirty, you'll have some buildup right at the edge of these little plastic, I don't even know what there are, but like these little plastic areas. You can use the cardstock to kind of get in there and kind of clean it. You can use different angles, of course, depending on where the gunk is, but that will help clean it out too. So between Q-tips, alcohol, and if necessary cardstock, you can really clean these pretty well. I don't recommend using anything like sharp, like a knife. You do not want to damage the contacts, but one thing I do need to stress is make sure if you do use alcohol, try to use the highest percentage. It's getting easier now to find 91% alcohol again. You can use 70, and I don't recommend using 50, but if you have to, you could use 50, but use very little of it, and maybe let double the time to dry. Like, so instead of 4 hours to let your cartridge dry, maybe just leave 8 hours. Make sure it really dries out before you put it in your Switch. But yeah, and after doing all that, your cartridge should be clean and it should play just fine. So I hope this helps somebody out there who needs the help. It's just a quick video, and I hope you enjoy this video. And if you have any questions, ask them in the comments. I'll try to answer them as quick as possible. And like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.